Hello, friends. I'm Andrea Morris, and welcome to another episode of Spill the Wine. Spill the Wine, of course, is a podcast about, you guessed it, wine. And we take you on taste testings to wineries around the Niagara Bench region. And of course, in the future, we'll be going to other regions as well. But since I live here, I want to promote the wines in the area that I live. We're also trying to debunk a little bit of the myths about wine, like you have to know something about wine in order to enjoy it, and that wine has to be expensive in order to be good. So today we're going to be having a tasting at London Born Wineries. And if you listened to our first podcast, you would know Sarah because she popped in and was a special guest on Cornerstone. But today, the show is all yours, Sarah. So welcome to Spill the Wine.
Hello, yay, thank you. This is awesome. I'm so glad that you're here and I'm here and that we're all here at our winery. We're actually at our new winery in Vineland, just on Cherry Avenue, but we'll talk about that in a bit. But yeah, super excited to be here and have you try some of our wines and some of the wines that honestly, I don't think I've even tried yet, but they're that new.
Wow,
so super excited.
This is an amazing experience. So London Born, tell me a little bit about the history of the winery. How did you guys get started?
Yeah, so anything, I mean, you've done some of these podcasts before, you've done a few of them. You probably ask the winemakers or the winery owners the same question, and I'm probably going to give you the same answer. Why did we do this? How did we get into the wine industry? Because we're insane. Like that's like that. No one in their right mind wakes up and be like, I'm gonna have a winery. No, you gotta be a little bit crazy to actually do that. But all jokes aside, the winery came about through kind of one of those crazy ideas that it's like, haha, yeah, okay. And then it actually became a thing. I'm trying to decide what part of the story I should start at, like from the very, very beginning.
Did you start growing grapes first? Were you farming grapes first, or did you just,
we'll go right from the very beginning. So, as you can probably tell, not originally from Canada. So we moved from England to Canada when I was about 3 years old. Yes, I somehow kept the accent, don't know how, but people like it, so cool. We moved from England to New Brunswick. Nothing to do with wine in New Brunswick. Now, I mean, Nova Scotia's got a great wine scene. If you're ever in Nova Scotia, go check out the wine scene there. But we moved to New Brunswick for something completely different. My dad is an electrical engineer, and he was told to set up a division of the company in Canada, and it was take your family out. It'll be like 3 years. We'll help you get settled. Take your family out, set it up, and then you can all come back home. It's fine. Don't worry about it. 3 years. That's all we want from you. And then we never went back. And then we were in Moncton. We lived in Moncton. And we were kind of at this sort of, as a family, we had this awesome opportunity to kind of do whatever we wanted, wherever we wanted. We were kind of thinking about a move. My parents were sort of thinking about a move. And it's like, okay, if we were going to move, where would we go? And why? What are we moving to? And because we're a European family, we will all be drinking. Let me not, like, I'm not going to make my parents sound like horrible parents, but like, we're a European family. So if you're 16, you get a little glass of wine. So we're all sitting in the back, in our back patio area, having some wine. And we get this crazy idea of, well, what about a winery? We like wine. Again, New Brunswick at the time, not a good wine scene. And it's funny that one of the wines we're going to taste later today is the only wine that you could get in New Brunswick, and we hated it. But we drank it because it was the only thing. But it was, oh my God, so bad. And so we got to this idea where it was like, well, what about a winery? Okay, that's a crazy idea, ha, ha, ha. And then we looked into it more. And we're like, okay, where are wineries? And we'll skip the whole like back and forth part. We landed on Ontario. We landed on the Niagara region because we're out in the country. It's gorgeous. It's nice and quiet. And then you have Toronto an hour away. So if you want that hustle and bustle city life, you can go do that.
And Buffalo is
exactly
half an hour away.
Yeah, so you have the city life if you want, but you're out here in the country and it's nice. And so we started a winery with absolutely no wine knowledge other than we like to drink wine. So we did the courses at Niagara College, and between that and just the support of the entire industry, and kind of just learning as we go, we created a winery.
Now, what year was that you started everything? Oops. Sorry about that. You can edit that out.
So we have had the winery in existence for about 12 years now. Mm-hmm. Where we are now is a brand new building.
Can you hang on for a second?
Yeah, of course.
You can do it. Hi, it's Andrea. Hi. No, I'm recording a podcast right now.
So, yeah, we've had the winery for 12 years now. And we've gone through some changes as we've, as the years have gone by, and we've learned from the changes. And, it sounds so cheesy, but every day is a new day to be better. And I'm super excited about our new spot. Our 1 year anniversary was this weekend, or we're Wednesday, so last weekend, July 29th. We have officially been open at this location for a year now. So we're absolutely loving this location. Best thing to do, I'm going to describe it to everybody listening, but obviously the best thing to do is come out and see it for yourself. But it's very much a smaller location, wine bar and retail store. We're sitting in the main retail wine bar area inside. And what I wanted to do is very much make it not so much a winery. Yes, we're a winery, obviously. Not so much a winery, but more of a, like, when you go downtown and you go to a cool, chic little bar and it looks pretty and it's all trendy and everything. That's sort of a little bit of the vibe that I was going for. And then there's a couple little nods to the London Born theme that you'll see as you look around. And then the blatantly obvious one as you come in the driveway with our...
the phone box.
The phone booth, the British phone booth, which we actually had shipped right from England.
Wow.
Yes.
That's a nice touch.
Ah.
Now, what made you want to move location to here from where you were before?
That one's a simple one. Better exposure. The other property, which we still have, we use it as an event space. We do small, intimate weddings there. We do pop-up weddings there. We're hosting the Sunflower Fest later in August. We still have that property, but it's a little bit out of the way. And so we'd have this great location, great wines. We really wanted to have everybody come out, but people just didn't know where it was. It wasn't a place where you would stumble across.
Right.
Here on Cherry Avenue, people stumble across us all the time. We have people come in and just come in, they're like, never been here before. We were just driving by, thought we'd check it out. We're like, yes, thank you, please. So that's exactly what we wanted. And it's nice that we have a bunch of great wineries on this street as well. And so we kind of all work together on like the Cherry Avenue wineries. And it's awesome that we can be like, oh yeah, you've had a great time here. Go check out Redstone. They're literally 3 minutes away. Go to Megalomaniac. Go to Ridgepoint. They've got great pizza. You know, you can go around.
Go to Taos.
Yeah, exactly.
They've got a donkey.
Yes, sorry, it's Tolls here and Redstone down on King Street there. But yeah, Tolls, great wines, great gin, and they have a donkey. Yes,
that's always a bonus.
Yeah, people love it, and I also often see the donkeys or the goats munching away in different areas. I'm like, hi.
Yeah, there are a couple of wineries that have sheep too around here. Yeah, but well, let's. You know what? I'm getting thirsty. Let's have some wine.
Yeah, we've got a bunch of bottles sweating here on the table, so let's crack them open. And
what are we going to start with, Sarah?
I think you know what. Let's start with our 2023, so brand new South Kensington Pinot Grigio. So as I go through these, you'll notice that I'm saying names, and it's like, wait, is that a varietal? What does South Kensington mean? That's not a varietal, right? It's what we've done with all of our wines is all of what we call our borough series. So are named after specific boroughs or neighborhoods in London that have some sort of meaning to the family, have meaning to things that my parents did as they grew up. And so we've kind of done a little bit of, just made it a little bit more interesting, a little bit more different than just putting the varietal on there.
Right.
And then we keep the tasting notes on the back of the labels very, very brief, because with wine, we're here as the quote, quote, professionals to kind of tell you what you're tasting. But honestly, really, it's all about what you taste.
Exactly, because we all have different palates.
Exactly. So we don't want to influence you being like, well, this has lots of notes of pear and undertones of grass and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
No, if you don't get pear, then you don't get pear. That's okay. So we keep the tasting notes short.
Oh, I'm gonna grab that one.
Okay, there we go. And put in little stories on the back labels about what that borough means to us. So right now, the 2023 South Kensington Pinot, so it's a Pinot Grigio. It's
very light colored.
It is, yes.
It's almost clear.
It is, yeah, and it's super cool. I don't know whether we've made a wine like this before. It is a Pinot Grigio. It drinks a little bit more like a Pinot Gris. For those who are wondering what the difference between Pinot Grigio and Pinot Gris is, they're the same grape.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're the same grape varietal. It's the Pinot Grigio versus Pinot Gris comes down to how it's produced, and also it's slightly geographical. So it'll be Pinot Grigio in Italy, but often in kind of France
or Spain,
they do Pinot Gris.
Right.
They do Pinot Gris.
Right.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it drinks like a Pinot Gris. You'll notice kind of on the nose, and I'm going to talk about wine tasting notes, even though I just told you that I'm not going to do that, but I am.
Right. But it's really the nose on it is very fruity.
Yes, it's quite aromatic. It smells to me, it's like super rich, like a very ripe pear, like Bartlett pears that you get here in the area. Like it just smells super, super juicy pear.
Mm-hmm. I don't actually taste pear on it.
I haven't tried it yet.
Oh, well, I'm trying it now.
Mm-hmm.
It's very light, and it's a really nice summertime wine.
Oh, yes.
Because it's very light, it's very flavorful. Like, I'm getting more, for me, on my palate, I'm getting a little bit of peach. Not so much pear.
Okay.
But I tend to not like pear. So maybe I'm just avoiding that and going like, I don't like pear.
I don't like pear, and therefore there is no pear in here.
It's like if you said it had beet overtones, I'd be like, I hate beets.
and that's a great point, though. It's like, you don't like pear. So if I gave you this wine without trying it, and it's like lovely notes of pear, you're like, oh, don't like pear.
I'm not going to try it. I don't even want to try it because I don't like pear.
Exactly.
Yes.
I say nothing like, no, I'm not going to say anything, try it. If you hate it after you try it, that's okay. But if I tell you anything before you try it, it's really amazing because it is so light. And when you, like,
again, you look at it and it's almost clear. And I would think like, oh, is this like a sparkling water, except it's not bubbling. But it's just got this really interesting flavor. Like I said, I'm tasting a little bit of peach, but it's got a nice little bit of a body to it. And I think it's the perfect wine for a hot summer day.
It is. And it does have a tiny touch of sweetness on it. But it is backed up with some nice refreshing acidity on the back of the palate after you've drank it. Really nice kind of bright flavor profile.
Now, what's the story with Kensington Borough to your family?
So South Kensington is kind of a quintessential place of where my parents would go. It's where the museums are. It's sort of kind of a little get trendy, sort of where you find all the sort of the museums and the art galleries. And so it's like a field trip. Or
right.
When they would go for school field trips. And it's like, oh, we're going to South Kensington. And it's like a cool little spot now. And it's interesting that my parents' views of these boroughs were them growing up, and now they've changed. Like when we get to the Marichal Foch, it's like the borough that's named after. They said when they were growing up, it was like do not go there. Now it's like, again, this kind of like, how would I describe it? It's like an industrial sort of area, kind of like the distillery district.
Yes, or like in New York, the meatpacking district.
Yeah.
That used to be really seedy.
Yeah.
And now it's really trendy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's really fantastic. And I highly recommend that for a summertime drink.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's...
What would you pair that with food-wise?
Okay. Ooh, we were talking pear, we were talking peach. What if you did, I'm going to use your peach, do like a grilled peach salad, get maybe like a soft cheese, like a fresh burrata or something like that, grilled peaches, probably not an arugula lettuce, but more of a sort of mellow type lettuce. And then, that peach and the burrata, I think that would go amazing.
That would be fantastic.
Oh, yeah, grilled fruit in the summer is so cool. It's so fun.
Yes. Yeah. With some balsamic.
Yes. A little balsamic. That would go great, actually. Yeah.
See, not just a wine tasting, our friends, but it also some food tips as well.
I could talk about wine. Wine and food is what I do. I have a whole other Instagram page that isn't related to the winey, where I just talk about
food.
Wine, food, beer.
Yeah.
So.
Perfect. Well, what are we going to move on to next? Now we're moving out of South Kensington to what borough? We
are skipping a borough for a minute. So this is now, so we have some of our wines that don't have a borough on them. Those are our reserves.
Okay.
And you'll see on the labels, and again, lovely listeners, you'll just have to come in to see what we're seeing. But on the borough series, you'll see...
Oh, the map.
Yes.
Perfect.
Aerial view of central London. On our reserve ones, we don't have the map. We just have the logo in gold, and then just the name, the name, and the navy blue logo.
Right.
So these ones are our reserve ones, are our estate wines. Estate meaning 100% estate grown fruit. And now we're doing something a little bit different. We are now trying a wine. Wow, I'm so rude. I poured myself first. Everyone.
Oh, that's all right.
We're going to pretend I didn't do that. I guess no one needed to know.
The listener wouldn't have known if you hadn't told them.
I'm just too honest.
This looks like a Riesling bottle.
It is in a Riesling bottle. It's not a Riesling. Oh, haha. What? That would be too easy. This is a grape varietal called Szegrebbe. Now, I'm sorry, every German person listening, that is probably not how you pronounce it. Mm-hmm.
Szegrebbe or something like that.
Yeah, that sounds cool. That sounds like, what
I'll pretend like I'm German.
Exactly, yeah. We call it Szegrebbe.
I have never heard of that varietal.
It's so funny enough, it's originally a German varietal. Mm-hmm. It grows at our Walker Road property, so our original property where I was saying we have all the events and everything. And And Szegrebbe is a cool varietal first of all, it's quite winter hardy, so it grows quite well here. The Szegrebbe is cool in that depending on the season, depending on the growing season that year, it can come off being a little bit more Gewürztraminer-y.
I was going to say because it has a very nose like a Gewürztraminer. It's very, very similar.
Yes. Or it can come off as more Sauvignon Blanc-like. For me, this vintage right down the middle. We just talked about how on the nose it smells.
It's floral.
It's floral, and honestly, I don't like using the word floral because it's so friggin' vague.
It was off-putting to some people.
Exactly, right? But that is what it is. That is, a Gewürztraminer is a floral wine. It's an aromatic wine. Yeah, what do you mean it's an aromatic wine? I mean, when you put your nose in that glass, it's like, woo, hello, there's a lot going on. But so Gewürztraminer, it's got that lychee, like that canned lychee thing. You get a little bit of
you get sweetness on the nose. Like
yes.
you can. It's weird to say that you can smell sweetness.
Which is an interesting thing about Gewürztraminer.
Yeah.
Because you'll smell it and you're like, oh, this is going to be sweet. Sometimes Gewürztraminers are sweet, but they're not always sweet. They're very aromatic though. So yeah, that lychee. You get a little bit of this sort of, we're going to say it, rose, sort of musky rose thing going on as well.
Yeah, really, initially you would think that you're going to be tasting sweet flowers.
Yeah.
But I just took a sip, and it's very dry. Mm-hmm. Which is exactly what I was not expecting.
Exactly, which is why it's so
It was like
cool.
a hard left turn.
Yeah. And I love putting this wine in a tasting for people, or just being like, hey, you want to try something new? You've done your tasting, you've done your 4 wines, but try something cool because you didn't try this one. And then some people are like, oh no, I don't. I'm like, just try it. What's gonna hurt? Nothing's gonna hurt you here.
Are you the only winery in the area that does this wine?
I don't believe so. There's only a few. I can't remember exactly. I don't know. Vineland May? I don't know.
That's the first time I've actually seen it on a label.
Okay.
Szegrebbe.
If you just kind of start the word and then sort of just mumble it sounds...
Szegrebbe.
It just kind of sounds like you know what you're saying.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like Gewürztraminer. Half the people don't know how to say Gewürztraminer, so you just call it Gewürz.
Right.
And it makes you look like you know what you're saying. It's like...
Well, I was thinking you could call it Cigar Baby, and then it's almost the same thing.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Cigar Baby.
Baby, yeah.
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 Cigar Baby. It's more...
Cigar Baby. That's how I'll remember it. Cigar Baby.
Yeah.
Cigar Baby.
Gewürztraminer, girls are meaner.
Right, see? Yeah, yeah. Those little tricks that you have to remember people's names. This is really interesting because it did not taste at all like what I thought it would taste. From the nose on it, which I said was sweet and floral, it's very dry and almost citrusy.
Yep.
Which is completely opposite to what you would expect.
It's so cool, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. It's like magic wine.
I want to tell you about a cool pairing. I'm ready for this pairing because I know you're going to ask.
All right, our cool pairing.
Sushi.
Oh, I can see that.
And hey, just a little plug here. Sushi Saturdays at London Born Wines. We do a sushi and wine pairing flight. For $40, we partner with Izumi Sushi in St. Catharines. You get this amazing tray of sushi, and we pair it with 4 different wines.
Well, that sounds like put it on the list of things to do on a Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Date night, girls' night out, friends, whoever.
Bring your puppy because you don't have a date. It's fine.
That's fine. He can nom on some of the sushi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'd like it, but...
Probably, yeah. I don't know. I've never given a dog raw fish, so...
I don't know if they're supposed to have it.
Probably not.
All right. Somebody will write in and say, no.
You should not feed your dog raw fish. These are the reasons. Okay, then.
Thank you. Yeah. No, this is a really interesting wine. I've never had this before, and I'm really pleasantly surprised with just how it presents itself as one thing and becomes something else.
Yep.
Yeah.
And again...
Cigar Baby.
Cigar Baby.
Cigar Baby.
And again, this is another super easy patio wine.
Yes.
Super easy. All right.
Moving on to more super easy wines.
Oh, yes. This is one of my favorites, so I'm very excited. We're going back to the boroughs. So this is the Camden Rosé Gamay.
Guess who poured herself first again?
Oh, my God. You know what? I just see a glass in front of me. I was like, this glass doesn't have wine. It must have wine in it. Next one.
Why do, it's interesting. Why do people think that that's a no-no? Is because it's a rude thing to do?
It is. It's like, professionally speaking, in the hospitality and sommelier world, you don't pour yourself first because it's rude. And I don't know whether this is 100% true, but it's, could do with something of like, you want to make sure all your guests have wine. And then you get...
In case the bottle runs out.
Exactly. Yeah. And then if there's some left,
then it's for you. Right.
Yeah. How much you pour in each person's glass is up to you. If you pour everyone else a 5-ounce glass and you get a 9-ounce glass, well,
Well, you are the host.
Exactly,
so
right.
I think you deserve it.
Yeah. Okay, so the Camden Rosé Gamay, and the color, people sometimes look at the color, and honestly, I'm trying not to give you too much information because I could go on and on about different wines and blah, 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 and go into detail about them. But you look at the color of this wine, it's a deep pink.
It is.
It's a deep pink, like free-range salmon pink.
Yes, it's kind of a pinky orange.
Specifically the free-range salmon, not the grocery store stuff. People see this type of rosé and they're like, oh, sweet. And that people do that because of White Zinfandel. White Zinfandel came in and was like, woo, I'm a rosé. No. And it's a super sweet wine. And so people see that color and they're like, oh, that's going to be sweet. I don't want it. This is definitely not sweet.
What's the grape on this? Is it Gamay?
100% Gamay, which is really cool. And we actually have 3 different styles of Gamay that we produce. But I love this one, so we're gonna try this one. But the way I describe this one is it's everything you love about strawberry jam minus the sweetness. It's got that sort of cooked jammy kind of smell.
It does have strawberry on the nose.
Yes. And it's got a little bit more viscosity on the palate. It drinks a little bit heavier. It's a fuller-bodied rosé.
It is. It's not sweet at all. But it's not terribly dry.
No.
It's kind of that nice middle of the road, like take the middle lane.
Yeah.
The middle lane of rosé.
Yeah.
Where it's not sweet, it's not dry, it's right down the middle, and really, really nice taste to it. I can taste a little bit of strawberry, but it's not overly sweet.
No.
Yeah.
But
because some of them you get are have raspberry overtones.
Yeah. The thing with rosé, it's so different, and people again, we're debunking wine myths. We said we were going to do that. We're debunking another myth here. Rosé isn't just for summer. Okay, yes, we're going to drink a ton of rosé in summer. The winery is going to a rosé festival next month, where it's just all rosé. But rosé is not just for summer. Sure, some of those really delicate, pretty little Provençal rosés from France, they're summer. Poolside, little baguette, cheese.
Some brie.
Yeah, exactly.
With some hot pepper jelly on it.
That's a summer wine. These are a little bit more full-bodied rosés.
Be nice with pork, I think.
Yes, goes really well with pork, goes really well with ham. So, Thanksgiving, Easter, Christmas, boom. Also, fun food pairing for this one. We should have a segment called Sarah's Fun Food Pairing.
Wait a minute, that could be another podcast.
Oh, I love it. Done.
Let's do it. Okay.
All right. We'll record that one tomorrow.
Yes, perfect.
This one, grilled hamburger, goat's cheese, roasted red pepper.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit of arugula in there too. The spicy, so the spicy arugula really pairs with, as you said, more of that medium body, not too dry, not too sweet. Kind of works well But yeah, that is like my go-to pairing. I tell everybody about. I'm like, oh my god, can I tell you the greatest pairing ever?
Yeah. And they're like, no. And you're like, I'm telling you anyway.
Well, kind of, yeah.
So do it, yeah. And why Camden?
So Camden is
one of my favorite areas in London.
Is it?
Yes. I spent a lot of time there.
Okay, yes. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, you wait.
I lived in the UK.
Yes, that's right. I didn't know whether you lived
Manchester,
there or...
but then moved down. Though spent a lot of time in London because I worked in the music industry.
Yes, yeah, that's right, yeah. No, so Camden was kind of like the chill out area. It's sort of like where you'd hang out after school, or where my mum would hang out after school, and you'd bell ring, kids run out in their little school uniforms, and then you just go hang out in the parks or on the heath, as they had in Camden, and just chill out there. And sort of that was like the cool after school hangout.
And it's a perfect wine for chilling out.
Exactly.
So it's very aptly named.
Yeah.
Because I could chill out with this wine all afternoon.
Oh, this one for me goes down very, very, very easy. Yeah.
And you know, some of the sweeter rosés I find I have to cut with club soda because the sweetness is, I don't like a really sweet wine, but the sweetness can be overpowering for me. But if I cut it with club soda, the bottle lasts longer.
Yes.
And the sweetness level goes down.
Yeah, a little wine spritz.
I wouldn't cut at all because it's really, 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 really fantastic. And again, perfect for a hot summer day, but also perfect for a winter day as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're so right. It would go great with like a stuffed pork tenderloin or something, some little roasty potatoes. Yeah. Put some peppers in there too. This rosé loves red peppers. Okay.
How about banana peppers? I have a lot of those in my yard.
Sure. Go for it. Try it out.
I'll try it out.
I'll
make some stuffed peppers and use that.
Ooh, we like that.
Stuffed banana peppers. There we go. Ooh, I think I sense another podcast coming up.
I think so. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wait, yes. And then we eat food on that one.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes. And chew with our mouths open, and then people are like, oh, no, don't listen to that podcast. They're rude.
They pour their own glass before anyone else.
They serve themselves food before anyone else. And then we'll have the etiquette podcast after that.
Yes, exactly.
So see, this is all great planning. Okay, next up.
Okay, we are going to do a crazy one before we move on to some reds.
Okay.
So this one is called the Troubled One Orange Wine. What's an orange wine? It is not
made with oranges.
It is not made with oranges. It is not something you put to make a mimosa. I had to stop someone buying it once because they said, I'm going to put that in a mimosa. I'm like,
no.
You know what? I really want you to buy our wine. I do. I cannot in good conscience let you buy that knowing that's what you can do with it. So I got them to try it first. And then they're like, oh, thank you. That would be bad for a mimosa. I like it, but not for a mimosa. So the Troubled One, an orange wine, refers to the method of how you make the wine. A lot of orange wines are going to be unfiltered, meaning that they're a little hazy. Kind of, you think a hazy IPA? Those are unfiltered. A lot of times, low intervention wines do the same thing. So they're unfiltered. This one is not. But another thing that is quintessential to orange wine is that it's wild ferment. Wild ferment meaning you're not using any commercial yeast. It's relying specifically on the naturally occurring yeast on the grapes themselves.
What does low intervention mean?
Low intervention is like you're not doing a lot to it. So like the orange wines, they're wild ferments, so you're not adding yeast to it. They could be unfiltered, so you're not putting it through the filtration system. And quite often they're organic or biodynamic, which I'm not even going to start talking about because we'll be here all day and people have other things to do. But they're a natural wine. And so it is also, an orange wine also means that it is skin contact. So this is a Chardonnay.
Oh, great.
It's really cool to, if you're still listening, right now, Google Chardonnay grape and look at the images. You'll see that it's not exactly a white grape as you may think it is. It's spotted, it's freckled, it's got brown spots on it. So when you make a skin contact wine with that, some of that pigmentation is going to go into the wine. Yeah, you're not going to get that pigmentation like you do in a red, but that color is going to transfer into the juice.
And it's because of the speckles that's making it that orange color?
Yeah, so any white grape, if you do skin contact, is going to have some pigmentation to it for the final product. So we're going to try this now. 100% Chardonnay. This is not like any Chardonnay you've tried before.
Really interesting because it is a very orangey color.
Yes. It's kind of like a copper sort of color.
And the label is much different from any of your other labels.
Yes.
And I have heard that the troubled one is because your brother made the wine?
Yes, he's... so this was like a side project with him and some of his sommelier friends and his wine industry friends. And they're like, we want to do something different and crazy. So this is one of their products. And the label was made by a local Toronto artist, which is someone in their circle, their friend group. And they designed a label for them. So it's super local. Which is awesome. But yeah, the label is just like this crazy like artwork, sort of watercolor thingy, and it's really cool. It definitely stands out.
It does. It's like that would be a great T-shirt.
Yes, it would. Even just the back, like the back label is just a load of like
splotches of color.
Yeah, I was trying to find a pretty word to describe that.
Yeah, it's like a watercolor that you just kind of like Monet would have done something like that if he was like screwing around with just being Kandinsky.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at me, so arty.
Oh, we're cultured here.
Yes, we're not just wine drinkers, we're also cultured wine drinkers.
Yes.
So this has also a slightly sweet floral nose.
Okay. I'm not going to tell you anything about this one. I'm just going to let you tell me what you think.
But it's got somewhat of a sour taste to it.
Oh, yeah.
It's really, again, it's kind of magical where it presents itself as being light and airy, but it's actually heavy and almost sour.
A lot of acidity.
Yes.
They wanted crazy acidity on that. So yeah, you definitely get that sort of sour note.
This is one that's definitely not for everybody.
No, it even says on the label, not for the faint of heart.
Yeah.
We also discovered through a happy little accident, Bob Ross style, that this drinks better at room temp. People are like, oh, it's a white, it's a Chardonnay, but it's room temperature. When it's room temperature, because it's such a complex wine, when it's room temperature, all of those flavor profiles are going to come out. When it's cold, all of that gets frozen. It's muted. You can't taste it. And
kind of like it is with the red.
Yeah. And also, when it was cold, all you tasted was acidity. It was just like, wow. And that was it, which some people loved. You warm it up a bit, put it at kind of more room temp, and you get the acidity coming through, but you get those really kind of cool, fruity flavor profiles. I describe it as like an orchard at the end of harvest season. You know, kind of got like, I'm using beer words now, but it's a bit dank. That's a good thing. That's a good thing, by the way. But it's funky. It's cool. It's not for the faint of heart.
I have a friend that really loves this wine, the orange wine, and she always serves it with pork. She does a nice pork roast with a lot of garlic and serves it with that.
Okay.
And it actually pairs really nicely with that.
I could see that, especially with the garlic. Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually just bought haven't tried it yet, but I just bought a garlic infused Galdo. And I think that would work really well with that too. Or like a super strong Parmesan cheese, something like that.
Maybe even like a really strong Stilton might kind of.
I was wondering, I was just thinking about a blue, whether that would be too much or not.
Well,
I don't know, only one way to find out.
Yep.
Buy a bottle, buy some cheese, have a good time.
And then go, ooh, that didn't work. What's next?
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Okay, this is really interesting wine. Again, not for the faint of heart, but it is not everyone's going to like this wine. If you like sweet wines, you will hate this wine.
Oh gosh, yeah.
But if you're adventurous and you like to try different food pairings, I think that this is a really interesting and very complex wine that I think a lot of people that are into wine might take a chance on this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's definitely something cool.
And you're one of the few wineries in the area that make this wine.
Yeah, there isn't orange wine is popping up here and there. I know Rosewood does an orange wine as well.
Southbrook in Niagara on the Lake as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I just thought of another one, but it completely... Queensland Mile. I don't know whether they do an orange. No, they do pet nats, which are cool. So, but we're not talking about those wineries. We're talking about me.
About London Born. So
yes,
let's move on to reds then. Yeah. Because I know that you have some reds that no one else has.
Exactly. Now, do we want to do the reds and then finish with a little bit something limey, or do we want to do something limey and then go to the reds?
Well, do you think that the limey will affect the taste of the reds?
Probably not.
Okay, then let's take a wine break and do a limey.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Lime break. Limey break.
Okay, so we were talking about limey. We're not being rude. We're not saying derogatory terms.
Is limey really
Yeah. Oh, story time.
Oh, yay!
So what we're drinking now is our limey lager. We now produce a beer. It just makes sense. We're English. English people are known for beer, although they are one of the one of the top sparkling wine drinking countries in the world. Yeah, and they're actually growing some too, and that's great. But we're not talking about
surrounded by water, so why not, right?
Yeah. It's like akin to champagne. So good for you, England. Anyway, before they got into wine, they did beer. So it only made sense for us to do beer as well. So we have our limey lager, which is a lager style ale infused with real lime. Now, limey it's not so much now, but limey used to be a derogatory term for the sailors, I think.
Right.
Because they would eat a lot of limes and citrus.
For scurvy, right.
Yeah. And so, if you were a washed up sailor, like, oh, you limey, you have to say it with like a really bad Cockney accent too.
Or Liverpool.
Yeah.
Limey.
Yeah. I just started watching Peaky Blinders again, so I'm like, what are you saying? I have to concentrate so hard, and it's like, I'm too tired for this. But...
Oh my gosh, I know. I remember the first time I ever went to Liverpool, I sat on a park bench and couldn't understand a word anyone said.
And it's so embarrassing. It's like, we're talking the same language.
Yes.
You're speaking English, but it's like, I'm sorry, what? And then it's like, how many times can you say sorry, what? Before it's like, no, I'm just going to pretend I knew what he was saying.
Go to Newcastle, you're just like, I don't know. Sorry, no. Don't.
Yeah, just pretend you speak a different language.
Yeah, it didn't get a word.
Yeah. Probably ended up for some fun times. It's like, this isn't what I ordered. This isn't chicken.
You're like, okay, yeah. I remember when I moved to the UK, I would go to a restaurant and order a glass of water, and they'd look at me and go like just give me this weird look, like, what is it? And I'd have to go, water.
I have to do the opposite here.
Really? Because you'd say water.
Yeah, I'll be like, oh, I'll just get a glass of water, please. And servers will be like, sorry, what? And I'm like, water? What? And sometimes I would just, whoever I was with, I would just be like,
water.
Can you just order me some liquid with no taste in it? Not fizzy. The stuff that you come out of the tap.
It's easy to just stick to wine then, because
exactly.
Wine,
that's why
everyone can
wine
understand
now.
wine. So this is a hot tip for all of our listening friends. Don't order water or water.
Yeah, just order wine. Everybody understands that word.
Or some limey lager, which I might add is really nice.
Okay,
Yes.
So again, super refreshing. This is, it's not meant to be a complex beer. It is meant to be refreshing. This is your camping beer. This is the, I just mowed the lawn beer. This is your come home after work beer. This is
like my puppy won't stop biting me beer.
Yes, exactly.
I need a drink.
This is my basement leaked again beer.
This is, damn, I don't know what I'm going to have for dinner. I'll just have beer.
Never done that before, no.
No. Because beer technically is it has malt in it. It's bread. Yeah. So
it's just liquid bread.
Drinkable bread. So yeah.
Liquid diet. Those are good.
Really nice little touch of lime to this. It's not overpowering. No. Not like a Mexican lager where you can really taste the lime. The lime is kind of like almost at the back of your tongue.
Yeah, and I find with this, it's very much a natural lime flavor. And as you said, not so much like, I'm one of those crazy people who actually likes to eat the whole lime. Like if I get a margarita or something, I will like peel the lime, eat it like an orange.
I do as well, yeah.
So you get a little bit of that rind in there as well. So you get some of that rind in the lager as well. So it's like a very natural lime.
Why did you decide to do a beer? You obviously don't do it on, do you do it on the premises? We
contract brew.
Okay.
Why did we decide to do a beer? Because we thought first of all, actually, it was my brother, I think actually, it was my brother who came up with the name originally. And he's like, wouldn't that be awesome? And so then we actually made it work. And we're like, yeah, that makes sense. It was something we were kind of thinking about. And we're like, man, I don't know, yeah, maybe. And then William came up with the name. We're like, yes. But also, people expect us to have a beer, you know?
Because we're British.
Yeah. So we'll give the people what they want.
That's right. And it's absolutely wonderful as a beer. Like I said, it's light. It's slight taste of lime. But I would drink this in a hot summer day like today and have no problem drinking 2 or 3.
Yeah. Hot tub beer. It's a fantastic, terrifyingly dangerous hot tub beer. Yes. Just from what I've heard, though. Yeah.
I'm sure it's a good pool beer as well.
Oh, yeah. It's a good everything beer, I think, is what we're saying.
I think we have rounded that out. Yes. We enjoyed this. This is a nice break between wine, by the way. Yeah. Kind of cleanses the palate before the reds.
It's a palate cleanser, yes. In our like multi-course wine tasting.
Yeah, and and the other thing is you don't have to tell anyone what goes good with beer because basically in the summertime, burgers, corn on the cob, hot dogs, like everything is good with beer.
You know what goes well with beer? More beer.
Woo!
So cheesy. I had to.
That's all right. Yeah.
We have it. So we have it in cans for retail sale, so you can take the cans home with you, of course. We have it in select beer stores. I believe the one in maybe Grimsby. I think the one in Grimsby, one in Stony Creek, one in Hamilton. I don't remember which one that I should know because I pass it all the time. I'm horrible with directions. And a couple in St. Catherine's as well. But we have it on tap here at the retail store, which is why they just 3 glasses of beer magically appeared from behind.
From the beer gods.
Exactly.
I thought it was a gift from the beer gods.
Oh, yes.
There you go. Yeah. No, it's fantastic. And I love beer on the tap too. So that's what's really nice about that.
Which is why I kind of wanted to mention it because it is definitely different. My dad, he definitely appreciates a beer on tap. So he likes to...
I have sat and drank some beer with your father.
Exactly.
And I know that he does.
Yeah. So he will come down here on a Friday after, around 5 o'clock and come down and usually... as he's pulling up, either Rose or Mike have already got a beer poured for him. Because they know it's Friday, it's 5 o'clock.
Yep.
Dad's down here for a beer. But
that's perfect.
It's great. We really enjoy it.
Well, now we have cleansed our palates. So we're ready to move on to some reds.
So I have 2 reds. We can definitely explore some other reds if there's something that you're interested in. But I'm going to start with these 2, and then we'll go from there. So we're going to start with, and then apparently finish.
A Gamay.
This is our Holbour 2021 Gamay. As I said, this is absolutely brand new. We kind of just did like a soft. We haven't officially released this. And when I say officially, it means I haven't put a post on Instagram yet. But we haven't, that'll be fine. We haven't officially released this. So brand new, 2020 Gamay. This is part of our Borough series. This is Holbour.
2021.
2021, what did I say?
You said 2020.
Oh, okay.
2021, Holbourn.
Yes.
Another London borough.
Yes. So Holbourn is also funny. The boroughs, I like how half of them, the proper way to pronounce it is just don't say half of the letters. So this phonetically is Holborn.
Right.
But it's apparently pronounced Holbourn.
Holbourn, yeah.
So Hobon, Holbourn.
Holbourn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holbourn, the story behind that is where my mum grew up.
Oh.
And actually, I was in last May. I was visiting my aunt in Southampton, and then went to Ireland for a couple days, and then did a weekend in London, and I stayed in Holbourn.
Nice.
And it was awesome. I had done it before, but I walked down the street where my mum lived. Yes.
That's so cool.
And we named it Holbourn because Gamay is one of her favorites.
That makes sense. It's a nice color. It's not too dark.
Yes.
But it's not pink. It's kind of like that sort of light red.
Yes. And Gamay is a light style red.
It's got a nice fruity nose to it as well.
This one is, hello. Oh, sorry, I got distracted. There's more dogs here. I'm a sucker for dogs.
I'm a big dog sucker as well. I mean, that sounded like dog sucker. That's sucker for dogs. Dog sucker sounds disgusting.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah. Oh, big puppies.
Man. Sorry,
there's an agreement. There's an agreement from the dog. It
yes.
gets more complex and it gets fruitier.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Gamay is cool because it can be, again, so many different things. This is actually a lighter style Gamay than our previous one. For me, Gamay is black pepper and bright cherry. And I love black pepper. I'm like, when you go to an Italian restaurant and they're like, do you want fresh cracked black pepper?
Yes.
And they're just like, and they're like, say when? I'm like, keep going. And I have to say, okay, stop, because then it's like...
Because the guy's arm is in a cast.
Yeah.
He's been doing
Bring
it
me
too
more pepper. They have those 3-foot tall pepper shaker things.
And then you've used the whole thing on your meal. Yeah. But I find that, it's funny because I always call Gamay a gateway red. Whereas if you've never been a red wine drinker and you've only you're new to wine and you're like, I only like Chardonnay, I only like Sauvignon Blanc, Gamay is the way to ease into reds.
Yes.
Because it's lighter and but this is a more complex Gamay than I've had in a long time.
That's awesome. And I mean, as I said, this is a brand new Gamay for us. We just released it. And so I haven't drank a lot of it. I don't think I've had a couple sips here and there. But I haven't drank enough of it to figure it out. So it's cool to get your opinion.
Well, and it's interesting because I'm also not a huge Gamay fan.
Okay.
But then when I drink it, I'm like, I like it. So what's my problem?
Yeah. I think some people are like, oh, it's a light wine. It doesn't really taste like much. Oh, no.
That's the assumption. And I think I always have that in the back of my head that I'm not a beginning wine drinker. So why would I drink a Gamay? And then I drink a Gamay and I'm like, what's my issue?
Why don't I drink Gamay?
Why am I being such a snob? And
also,
yeah.
Fun thing about Gamay, chill it slightly.
Really?
Oh, yes. Another cool thing. Wine myth debunked again.
Yes, debunk the wine myth that you can't chill a red.
Yeah. Oh, please do. We generally drink our reds too warm. And without going into a full wine education segment, the lighter the red, the colder you want it. So I'm not saying put all of your reds in the fridge and keep them there.
Right.
But something like a Gamay, a Pinot Noir.
Chill it for an hour or two before you serve it? Half an hour?
You just want it I love when I go to a restaurant And because, I'm in the wine industry and everything, I do these annoying little things that I try not to. But every time, if we're getting a bottle, I will hold the bottle to see how cold it is.
Uh-huh.
And like, as soon as I touch the bottle, I'm like, yeah.
You get
This is going to be a good place. They know how to store their wine.
So if you serve this slightly chilled,
Yes.
does it change the flavor of it?
So what it does, it gives it more expression. All of those fruity flavor profiles that you were getting, those are going to be elevated.
Like bang in your face?
Crispy, bright, fruity.
Like crunching an apple?
Yes.
Yes. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. That's good to know. I did not know that you should chill Gamay, so I learned something.
And, I just bumped the microphone here. I'm flailing. And in the same sort of wavelength as that, fuller bodied reds, like the next one we're going to try, you want to drink them warmer, but not necessarily maybe as warm as we usually drink them. But because they're fuller bodied, they've got more flavor profile. There's more complexity into them. You have that at a slightly warmer temperature, all of those flavors are going to come up. Kind of like when you have an oaked Chardonnay, if you're a fan of a super oaky Chard, you get it from the fridge, you pour into your glass, you go about whatever you're doing, having dinner, chilling out, relaxing. And as you sit there with the glass, your glass is going to warm up. And then you realize it's like, oh, wow, this Chardonnay
It tastes better as it warms up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, because it's more complex.
But you don't ever think about serving a Chardonnay at room temperature?
No.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't want to serve it quite room temp, but...
You'd want to chill it, let it sit, then drink it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, I'm saying the fuller bodied wines are more complex. That's not to say that lighter style wines can't be complex. It's just, it's stupid to say, but they're fuller bodied.
Right.
So they need more time to warm up, kind of thing.
This is an absolutely beautiful, deep red. Deep color.
So this is something that is very much London Born wines. There is a bittersweet story to this.
Tell us what it is,
There are
Sarah.
two stories to this, actually. So we are drinking the Marichal Foch. This is the Docklands Marichal Foch, so another one of our Borough series. And the Docklands, as we kind of were talking about earlier, I think...
Another area that's really gone under renovation.
Yes. Yeah, it's cool, like a little industrial.
Used to be seedy.
Yes, exactly. It's the docks, the Docklands, an old vine Foch, old vine Marichal Foch.
Let's talk about the color of this Foch, which is very, very deep.
Oh,
it's
yes.
like almost like a purplish red.
It is definitely opaque. Like you can't see through it.
But not much on the legs I'm seeing. But that's okay. And also has kind of like, I'm finding it to have like a plum kind of peppery nose to it.
Okay.
Which to me would signify this is going to be a really deep, rich wine. But let me taste it. It's interesting because when I taste it, I find it to be kind of thin.
Interesting.
I don't know if that's just me.
It could, again, it could just be you, and that's okay.
Yeah, because that's my palate. My palate's used to a red that's like wants to punch me in the face.
Exactly.
Because it's so deep.
I love how you use the term "punch you in the face" because I do that too. And it's so great. I'm get weird with my wine descriptions.
Yeah.
So yeah.
The Cab Franc. They punch you in the face, Cab Franc.
Ooh, I like that.
No, I think a Foch to me is an acquired taste.
It is. Foches, they're funky. And it's funny because when we lived in New Brunswick, Marichal Foch was what you drank.
I knew that was what you were going to talk about because I've been to New Brunswick and Foch is rampant there.
And it is, Marichal Foch has come a long way. And honestly, our first vintage of the Foch was, oh man.
Like moonshine?
I don't know. I mean, it doesn't help that I don't like Marichal Foch. It's funny that what like has been something that is like known to us and that we're known for, and what for a really long time was our bestseller, is the wine the entire family hates the most. Marichal Foch is it's funky, it's smoky, it's leathery. When people are like, oh, what's it similar to? I say Baco Noir. It's kind of got that sort of Baco Noir. It's a little bit funky. It's sort of sometimes barnyardy.
Leathery.
Yes. But people love it. One of my best friend, their sibling, they every time they're in the area, they will grab a whole case of it because they just love it.
But again, when you talk about, everyone has a different palate.
Yeah. No.
You know, this wine could be $300 a bottle, and some people would love it, and some people don't. It's all about what you like personally.
Exactly. If you like a $10 bottle of wine, go for it.
Yeah.
No one cares. No, drink what you like.
Yeah. And then just put a different label on it and pretend you're pretentious. It's great.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Make sure pinky's up.
Oh, exactly. Pinky's always up. Yes. Be proper. No, I mean, I think it's really cool that Foch is something that you're known for that not a lot of people in this region do. But it's not, I'll be honest, not my favorite wine.
No, it's not mine either.
Yeah.
But as you said, something a little different. People really like it. It gives something different to offer.
But also it gives you something different than anyone else.
Yeah.
Just like with your cigar.
What was it? Cigar Baby.
Cigar Baby. Cigar Baby.
The Cigar Baby, yes. But this Marichal Foch is, people think immediately steak. Yeah, sure, it'll go great with steak. But because it's kind of funky, it's kind of got that leathery, barnyardy thing, put it up against game meat. So
like a venison?
Venison, lamb roast. If you want to get like crazy into like game meat, if you hunt or you know a butcher that will do different cuts, like elk. I mean, elk is kind of lean, but because it's so gamey, it's going to pair really well with these sort of like funky things going on in a Marichal Foch.
But speaking of steak, we have one last wine to try from you, and it is one of my favorite steak wines.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
Just FYI.
FYI, in case you ever want to take me out.
Are you asking me out on a date?
No, I'm asking you out on a food podcast.
Ooh. So this one that I'm pouring in everybody else's glass first.
Oh, she's so mannered now.
Yes, I have learned. This is our 2018 Cabernet Franc. This is an estate grown one, so 100% our grapes.
Beautiful deep color once again.
It won a few awards. We're happy about that.
That's nice. Beautiful legs on this one.
Mm-hmm. It is. What did I describe?
Very peppery on the nose.
Like black pepper, or
I'm thinking black pepper for sure. Like that Italian guy just came with pepper, that pepper sting, and
the 3 foot
the pepper grinder, the 3 foot tall pepper grinder, and just put it right into this glass.
Maybe, yeah.
Could have.
But you're right. This is a steaky wine.
It's beautiful.
Like a pepper crusted steak, done maybe like not grilled, not in the barbecue, but like cast iron pan fry it. Ooh,
yeah.
With a little butter too.
And with some blue cheese on top.
Ooh.
I
feel like you like blue cheese.
I do like blue cheese.
Yeah, it's come up a bit.
No, it's interesting because it has such a peppery smell to it, but it tastes so rich.
It is rich. This one has that tannin structure, kind of dries out your mouth a bit. All those sort of...
All the things that make a steak taste great, because the tannins are really taking effect and breaking down the steak and making it just melt in your mouth. And this wine is really great.
Yeah, this may be one of my favorites.
I can see why, because it's really, really nice.
It's sophisticated, it's elegant, it's...
Much like ourselves.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah. No wonder we like it so much.
Oh, quite.
No, it's smooth, and it just has a really nice finish to it.
Mm-hmm. It's a good way to finish the podcast.
Oh, definitely.
Well,
yeah, because now I really want a steak dinner. It's just... And if you could see the legs on these glasses, it's amazing, because the wine is just leaving just deep, long legs on the glass, and it's just so good. I noticed it in Lukas, our producer's glass. It's just really amazing. Does that mean, what does the legs mean?
So I was going to talk about it, and then I was like, we did talk about it when I, crashed Nina's podcast at Cornerstone.
But just in case someone didn't hear that
exactly.
one. Yeah.
So the legs, we've talked about the legs a bit. We're not, we're not sitting here checking each other out. But the legs refer to when you swell your glass of red wine and it kind of drips down the side. You get that sort of you get a little bit of the residual wine dripping down the side of the glass. And those are the legs, or sometimes known as wine tears. And that is going to refer to two things. And this is where it's kind of like you sort of make assumptions. It refers to sugar and or alcohol. So if you swell the glass and the legs of the wine tears drip really slowly, that means it's going to be higher alcohol or high in sugar. So if you have an ice wine or a late harvest wine and you do that, then the wine tears or legs are going to drip very slowly because there's a lot of sugar in there. It's got high viscosity, so it's going to take longer to drip.
It's good to know that this has a lot of alcohol in it.
Yes, we like that.
We like that.
It's actually
we like it.
So it's actually not super high in alcohol. It's 12%.
That's not bad.
No,
but it's a beautiful tasting wine. It's rich. It's full bodied. I would highly recommend this 2018 Cab Franc. I think it's one of my favorite wines I've tasted.
Yay!
So,
I like that.
My stamp of approval.
We've got your stamp of approval. You need a stamp thingy.
I do, bing,
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm so happy that we tasted this. Yeah. Oh, yes, yeah. And you know what?
We have to cheers.
Cheers.
Ha-ha.
Yes. Well, I just want to say that thank you, Sarah, so much for your time.
Yeah.
And listeners, I hope that you have enjoyed our wine tasting with Sarah at London Born on this latest episode of Spill the Wine. Be sure to visit our show notes because I'll have photos of the winery and also the website contact info that you can get in touch with Sarah and come visit the winery. Also, don't forget to like and follow Spill the Wine because that's very important. And if you have any topics or suggestions or wineries that you'd like us to visit, then you can email us at podcastspillthewine@gmail.com. That's podcastspillthewine@gmail.com. Now, one more time, let's cheers. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Awesome. Thank you.